now multiple dose activated charcoal, MDAC. This is a new concept in the management of the poison with the help of activated charcoal. Here the activated charcoal is administered in a dose of 50 grams of activated charcoal every 6 hourly for 3 days. The purpose or the principle behind giving this multiple dose activated charcoal is that the poisons, as I already told you, are best absorbed in the non-ionized form. This means that the weak acids like salicylates are best absorbed at the acidic pH, correct? And the weak bases like cocaine are best absorbed at the basic pH. So, as the weak acid and activated charcoal forms the complex in the stomach, and then as it passes into the intestine, so the pH of the intestine changes. So, the poison may detach from the activated charcoal due to change in the pH. And then this action of the pH change affecting the action of the activated charcoal may be countered by giving sufficiently large doses of activated charcoal in form of multiple dose activated charcoal. So this is the basic idea behind giving this multiple dose activated charcoal. However, it is even useful in the poisons having intrahepatic and enteric circulation, as I already told you, where the poisons that are getting when given through the parenteral route or the poison having intrahepatic circulation are getting secreted again into the intestinal tract. So again it is given so that it will keep on getting excreted and avoided from again reabsorbed from the intestine. Important about the multiple dose activated charcoal is the precaution that should be taken while giving this multiple dose activated charcoal is that it should be given judiciously in poisons having the anti-peristaltic activity like amitriptyline opioids, and as the charcoal estercolith may form causing obstruction and perforation. Already I told you that the complication with activated charcoal is the intestinal obstruction. So those drugs or poisons that causes the decreased peristalsis or decrease the clearance from the intestine, so they will cause the getting it to the collected, forming the estercolith and causing the intestinal obstruction and perforation also. So it should be avoided in such poisons where the antiperistaltic activity is slowed like amitriptyline and opioids. Then activated charcoal, very old concept of was used in form of the universal antidote. So you must know what is universal antidote, although now it is no more recommended, but in the previous time it was given as a in all the unknown poison for the management of the poisoning. So universal antidote contains two parts of activated charcoal. So it acts as adsorbent. Then one part is the magnesium oxide and one part is the tannic acid. It is named so because it was supposed to be effective against every poison. So it is called universal antidote. It was theorized that activated charcoal would absorb most of the poisons. Magnesium oxide would neutralize acid and tannic acid would precipitate alkaloids and metals. So almost it covered all the range of the commonly used poisons. So that it was called as the universal antidote. It was sold under the trade name of the Unidote or Rescue. People made at home too by mixing the burnt toast, although this is not the activated charcoal, but still the people were making the universal antidote by burning the toast and then mixing the milk of magnesia that contains the magnesium oxide and the tea powder that contains the tannic acid. So it became the activated charcoal, magnesium oxide and the tannic acid. So this was used, homemade, used as a universal antidote. Then the mechanical antidotes, that the second type of mechanical antidote is the demulcents. That is, they form a protective covering on the stomach wall and disallow the absorption of the poison from the intestine. So this prevents absorption of poison by making a protective coating on the stomach wall like aluminum hydroxide gel, egg white, fats, milk, milk of magnesia, oils, starch, ghee, butter. Demulcents word has arrived from the Latin word demulcere, means the carers. So it is caring the person. So this word has arrived from this. So they are the substances that form a protective film over the gastric mucosa, preventing entry of poison to the systemic circulation. Important about this is that it shall be fats and oils dissolve the fat soluble poisons and may increase their absorption. So this fact shall be kept in mind. So the demulcents that are of fatty in nature shall not be used in the fat soluble poisons such as acetone, aniline, CCl4, DDT, kerosene, organophosphates, phenol, phosphorus, turpentine. In these conditions, it shall not be used because rather than the preventing from absorption, it will cause increased absorption. So this is about demulcents. Then another mechanical poison is the diluents. So as I already told you, diluents are those that dilute the poison, rendering them ineffective, like plain water, bulky food like boiled mashed potatoes, boiled rice, boiled vegetables, halwa, bananas. Banana is very commonly recommended to be taking any compound of unknown nature. So it is a way that it acts is a form of the diluents. So it get mixed with the poisonous substance and it gets basically excreted and it causes lesser absorption of the poisonous substance. Particularly, they are more useful in case of ingestion of the powdered glass, especially with respect to the bulky food. They are useful for powdered glass so that it will not cause damage to the mucosa of the intestine. It will get mixed with it and a little bit will be spared to act on the surface. So they dilute the poison and reduce effectiveness. Dilution with water or milk is indicated only in the case of irritants and the corrosive poisoning. For the drug ingestion, dilution alone should not be used because it may increase absorption by increasing dissolution rates of the tablets or capsule, or it may promote more rapid transit into the lower gastrointestinal tract. So basically this is not that effective type of the antidotes. Then coming to the second group of the antidotes based on the site of action, that is the chemical antidote. So as the name suggests, chemical antidotes, they chemically neutralize the poison substance in the gastrointestinal tract. So the chemical antidote neutralize the poisons chemically within the gastrointestinal tract, forming it harmless or insoluble compound, or by oxidizing the poison when it is brought in contact with it. Like you can see in this chart, there is a list of the chemical antidotes and where they are used for. So weak acids neutralize the alkalis. So important thing that has to be, so like acids like canned fruit juice, lemon juice and vinegar will be used in case of alkali poisoning. Important here to remember is the weak solution of the acid shall be used. When the acid poisoning is there, so alkali has to be used. So it is not that a strong or the moderate nature of the acid or alkali shall be used, because it will cause, itself will be a toxic effect on the body. So weak solution should be given for the countering the effect of alkali in case of the alkali poisoning, like the canned fruit juice, lemon juice, vinegar. Neutralization of acid with strong alkalis and the vice versa must be avoided because the antidote may itself be injurious and will cause the strong exothermic reaction causing further injuries to the body. Sodium bicarbonate and carbonates used to neutralize the acids are avoided because they cause the excess release of the carbon dioxide, which may cause perforation of the weak stomach wall. This is the another reason for not giving the strong acids or strong alkalis or the acids. Similarly, alkalis neutralize the acids. Weak solutions would be given, like the alkaline hydroxide, for example, the magnesium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, also known as select lime. Calcium hydroxide is the white powder obtained when the calcium oxide is mixed with the water, also called as the hydrated lime, builder's lime, slack lime, calcium or pickling lime. For the mechanical medicinal purposes, slack lime is sweetened with the addition of the sugar saturated lime. For age of ingestion, it may be given against many acids. So, this is the way we prevent the poison from the acids ingestion. Then the albumin. Albumin found in the eggs, egg white particularly, can be given in the mercuric chloride and the copper poisoning. Albumin forms the insoluble mercury albuminate, so it will be excreted out, and in case of copper poisoning, it forms the insoluble copper albuminate. Then the common salt may be given for the silver nitrate poisoning. It forms the insoluble silver chloride, so it will not cause its poisonous effect. Then copper sulfate, although this is obsolete now, was once given for the phosphorus poisoning. It forms the insoluble compound called the cupric phosphide. Because of the effect associated with the copper sulfate, it is no more given because copper sulfate itself becomes the poisonous for the body. So, for the phosphorus poisoning, it is no more recommended. Then dialyzed iron for the arsenic is also was also given, but it has also become obsolete. It also acts in the gastrointestinal tract because it forms the insoluble ferric arsenite with the arsenic compounds. Dialyzed iron is the solution of the highly basic ferric oxychlorides from which the most of the acidic matter has been removed by the dialysis. It is a clear, dark, reddish brown liquid free from any marked metallic taste. It is not used now, although. Then the dicobalt irritate chemically combines with the cyanide. We will learn the details of the management of the cyanide poisoning. Under that, we will learn how this dicobalt irritate works, and also we will see in this case chelating agent. When we will be dealing at there, we will know there. Here also it combines with the cyanide in the intestinal tract and neutralizes it. Then ferric oxide, freshly prepared hydrated ferric oxide Fe2O3 was once given in arsenic poisoning because it forms insoluble ferric arsenite with the arsenic salts. Ferric oxide was prepared on a spot by mixing ferric perchloride with magnesium oxide and then straining the resulting solution through the piece of muslin, that is the straining lightweight cotton cloth that is used to filter this mixing of the ferric perchloride with magnesium oxide and then filter it. The precipitate that remained on the muslin, which was administered for the management of this arsenic, that is the hydrated form of ferric oxide. but it is no more on use because better drugs or better alternatives are available. Then iodine, tincture iodine or Lugos iodine, used for the alkaloids, lead, mercury or the silver compounds. Iodine, a solution of tincture iodine or the Lugos iodine, 15 drops added to a half glass of water, warm water, precipitates the most of alkaloids like quinine, strychnine, lead and mercury and the silver also. This is a good chemical antidote used today also. Then potassium permanganate. I already discussed potassium permanganate along with the gastric lavage, where after gastric lavage we may administer this potassium permanganate. So this acts as an oxidizing agent. The potassium permanganate in the concentration of 1:5000 known as the Condi solution. So you must know what is Condi solution. Condi solution is 1:5000 of the potassium permanganate. Is a strong oxidizing basically agent, so it oxidizes the poisonous substance and itself gets neutralized. So it is useful in case of atropine, barbiturates, cyanide, hydrogen cyanide, opium, phosphorus and strychnine poisoning. It oxidizes the poison, rendering them inactive, and in the process it itself get reduced, and so the color of it, as I told in the gastric lavage, is pink in color, so it loses its color and it becomes colorless. So the stomach wash shall be done till the solution coming out from after the inducing the potassium permanganate is the same as the pink color as that of the solution introduced. Then we must stop giving the potassium permanganate with the gastric lavage. Then the tannic acid. Tannic acid, as I already discussed with the universal antidote, that is the where the 4% solution or the tannin in a strong tea form precipitates the majority of the alkaloids, aconite, apomorphine, cinchona, cocaine, metals like aluminium, cobalt, copper, lead, mercury, nickel, silver, zinc, nicotine, pilocarpine and strychnine. So this is useful for the variety of alkaloids and the metals. So it was used as in the universal antidote. This is again working as a chemical antidote nature of the substance. So with this we finish the chemical antidotes and the physical antidotes based on the site of the action. In the next class we will learn the chelating agents, serological antidote and the pharmacological antidote. With this, thank you so much for your patient listening.